What's going on, everybody? So earlier today on one of my shorts, I asked a question. That question was, how is black femininity any different from white supremacy in principle? We're only talking about in principle, okay? And the answer is it's not. It's not. The reason why it's no different is because you make a judgment based off of stereotypes. You make a judgment of a person based off of stereotypes, and you look to be, you're not looking for equality in black femininity. What you're looking for is to surpass the black man. You utilize words like intimidated. Men are intimidated by you because you have all of these things, or whatever the case may be. You tell him what it is that he should want, what he should do, how he should do it, all of those things. You overtalk him. You do all of these different things that speak to supremacy based off of gender. You believe that you're bigger, stronger, and better than your black male counterparts. That's what you believe. All right? If you watch my last full video, I talked about the fact that femininity and masculinity are puzzle pieces, and they work much better together. And that's just the way that it is. So, you think I should accept that masculine shit that you're putting out here? Let me explain something to you. You think that men are intimidated by you because you're pretty and you're strong and you have things and all of it. You like all of these reasons. You see a beautiful, confident woman, and you're intimidated by him. Nobody's intimidated. Just because a person don't want to deal with you, don't mean that he's intimidated by you or he has some psychological thing wrong with him. All right. Now, the fact that you want to intimidate a man is or you want to utilize that word when you refer to a man shows that you actually look forward or look for a man to fear you. Now, intimidation is a tactic that is used. It's a masculine tactic that is used to scare someone. That's what it's used as. It's a masculine tactic that is used in order to scare someone without confrontation. Why would you want that out of a man? Why would you want to claim that you're safe? And it is also associated with a bad person, a bad personality. Why in the world? Which is actually more accurate than him being intimidated. He doesn't like. Here's the thing, ladies. That means that being pretty is associated in black culture with a bad attitude. Now, that's not because of anything that a man did. That's not because of anything that a man does. But that is simply because of shit that pretty people do. How they react to things, how they move, how things that they say. Social media exposes all of those things, y'all. If you have a bad attitude, most people already know. If you just happen to be pretty. So you and no other race can you say that about? You can't about their women. No other race talks about having a man intimidated by them. No, and how they seek, like they feel power by feeling that way. But it's false power. Because you're simply saying, I have a bad attitude. I am a bad person because I'm pretty. You're simply admitting that. Now, how does that have anything to do with what a man may have done to you in the past or whatever the case may be? It has nothing to do with it. So that's one thing you can't blame on the black man. But you will. Because you make it sound like it's a bad thing that this person didn't step to you. And the fact that he didn't step to you kills everything that you want to believe in us or believe about us in the first place. You want to believe that a black man will go out and fuck anything. So he should step to you because you're so on this level. You on this level. And if he don't, you try to diss him by saying that he's intimidated. Never mind all the possibilities that could be going on. He could actually be taken. He could actually be faithful in his relationship. He could actually have a headache. He could be having a bad day. He could be just not wanting to be bothered by people. He could be any different thing, any different thing that he could have in his mind or in his way that makes him not think about you. And the first thing you think of is, why this nigga didn't say nothing to me? I'm that important. Alright? So back to the point, y'all. You have created this whole imaginary world. And it's crazy because I was watching this movie today, right? And the movie was about white supremacy. And it was about a skinhead who went to jail for killing 4 black people. And when he came out, he was completely rehabilitated, y'all. He was totally different, all right? And the reason why he was totally different was because when he went to jail, he did what's called putting out a flag. And basically took his shirt off and his swastika was on his chest. And now he was basically looking for protection and looking for people to bond with or whatever the case may be so he could be protected or whatever the case may be. So he links up with these dudes that are also Nazis or whatever, neo-Nazis or whatever you want to call them, right? And at some point he decides he doesn't want to live the life anymore, right? And they corner him in the bathroom. The guard shuts the door and they rape him because he doesn't think like them anymore. So the reason that I'm making this point is, look at how black women do to other black women who don't agree with them. You call them pick-me's. You completely, totally attack them. You completely, totally disrespect them. You completely, totally destroy them. You call them pick-me's. You call them names. You call them this. You call them that. You call them panderers. You call them whatever. All right? Even the most objective woman, if she doesn't agree with you, you call them pick-me's. Alright? Now, mind you, I was already thinking this prior to the movie even coming on. I'm just watching TV. That movie just happened to pop up, but I was already thinking this morning, early this morning. Alright? After one of the lives that I did this morning. Now, why do you seek to surpass me? You don't seek to be equal like other races, like women of other races. Why do you seek to surpass me? Why am I a simp for doing nice things for you? Why am I like, even a person doing nice things for you has a negative name to it. And like I explained in one of the other videos earlier, a simp is simply a person who's nice to you and you don't appreciate it. It has nothing to do with what he's doing. It's how you receive it. So a whole name has been created. I'm not sure by who. But a whole name has been created based off of that, y'all. So, at the end of the day, y'all, you want to be so much better. You want to pretend that we're in competition with you. Like I said, you have created this whole world saying that black men are in competition with you and why black men don't treat women like they did in the 80s and all of these things. All we find ourselves doing is living up to comparisons of people. And in order for those comparisons to make sense, you have to compare yourself and who you are and what you bring to the table and what you are willing to do to what those women were doing in those times, y'all. But that comparison is nothing because you see yourself as a supreme being compared to your grandmothers, compared to your mothers. So much so that you won't listen to them if they try to check you on something. So much so that you won't listen to your man if he tries to check you on something. So much so that you can't even have a conversation with a black man because you have this disdain and disrespect for a black man. So much so that black man can't even get a word out. So much so that when we're starting to realize right now why our fathers were so unavailable emotionally to our mothers or whatever the case may be, because they already understood what we tried to fucking. When y'all started talking about, oh well, please, why don't you don't open up, you don't tell me how you feel, you don't do that. You never were interested in how we felt. You only wanted us to acknowledge the fact that you were talking. That's it. That's all you wanted. Now, I got news for y'all. The crazy thing is, a black man can be happy, content, without having a woman be his woman in life. For the most part. Why do single black women seem so angry? Why do they have to raise their voice? Why do they go on fucking soliloquies talking about themselves and expressing themselves and having to express themselves, overly express themselves, overly emotionalize expressing themselves? Why do y'all have to do that? Why can't we just sit down and have a good conversation for the most part? Just a conversation where I tell you what it is on this side, you tell me what it is on that side. Why do you pretend that we trying to oppress you? When a man goes to work and he's doing, now if you're talking about the 1%, maybe. But when a man goes to work and he's doing a hands-on job, he's not thinking, I'm doing this so I can suppress this girl, so I can oppress this girl. He's not thinking that shit. He's thinking, I need to provide stuff for my family. If he's a single man, if I should come across a woman that I like, I need to be prepared to take her out, to be able to do things for her, to be able to do things with her. I need to be ready for that. That's his mindset. Where is oppression in that? There's no oppression in that shit. There's no oppression in that mindset. But in the meantime, all we hear is what you're not going to do. What you're not going to do to make him happy. That's what we hear. So what's good with that? That's all I'm saying. So you have this long ass list of things that you want me to do, but for you, not so much. And then you keep saying we trying to make you slaves. If I'm oppressing you, that means I'm holding you down. So who the fuck am I competing with? If you're down. Because the only person who can oppress you is someone who's up. So if I'm oppressing you and you're down, I'm not chasing you. Show off.